seat.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I've been looking at your CV and honestly, it looks really good.
Thank
So
you.
congrats on that. Congrats on making it past the first round.
Thank you so much.
So if you're ready, we can move on to the next round.
Yes.
All right. So this round will be a case round where we'll be giving you a case problem that we will be requiring you to solve. So if you have your pen and paper ready, then I can quickly dictate what the question for today will be.
Yes.
All right. So the client is an Irish solar lamp manufacturer who is looking to enter the Indian market. As a consultant, you need to evaluate whether the company should enter the market or not. Would you like me to repeat that for you? Okay.
So to reiterate what you just said, our client is an Irish solar lamp manufacturer who is looking to enter the Indian market.
Absolutely.
And we have to evaluate whether the company should enter the Indian market or not.
That is correct.
Right. Okay, so before we proceed, I would like to take some time to form my thoughts. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's completely all right.
Thank
Take your
you.
time and let me know when you're ready to begin.
Yes. So what is the main objective of entering into the new market? Is it to increase profitability or to increase revenue or market share?
Well, that's a good question. It's actually both. So, but ideally, it is an increase in profit that is usually the reason for entry into a new market.
So what is the situation of our client in the countries that it is currently operating in?
So, currently, our client is operating in Ireland and it is not particularly doing that great in that country.
Is there any particular reason for that?
So, the thing about Ireland is that the amount of sunlight received in a year is pretty low, because of which it's hard for our company to function because it solely depends on renewable energy. Plus, Ireland has a lot of other sources of renewable energy also.
Okay, so India is a tropical country where sunlight is available for the maximum part of the year, so I don't think that is going to be a problem here. May I know which part of India is our client specifically targeting?
So, our client hasn't exactly picked a part of the country yet, so we haven't decided.
Okay, so I will be evaluating this case based on 3 factors.
Okay.
Market landscape,
Okay.
product specifications, and profitability.
All right. That sounds good.
So in market landscape, I will be estimating the market size and the market share individually. For the market size, I will be taking the total population of our country and considering the average size of one household to be of 4 members. So that comes out to be around 35 crore households in our country. Dividing them into urban and rural, I will not be considering urban because options of lighting are already available there. So I believe that rural India is going to be our main target market.
Right. So the client is also looking pretty keenly into expanding into the rural parts of India.
Moving further, I will divide the rural households into 3 categories. First will be households with a power grid and regular supply, and I'm considering it to be 50%.
Okay.
Secondly would be households with a power grid but irregular supply, and I will be taking that as 30%. And third, I will be taking households without a power supply, without a power grid, and that will be 20%.
Okay.
Is my assumption correct?
Yeah, you can definitely go ahead with this assumption.
For the sake of convenience, I will only be considering the households in the 3rd category because I believe that they will be more interested in buying the solar lamps.
Yeah, you can definitely go ahead with that assumption.
So I will further divide them into upper class and lower class, considering upper class to be 40% and lower class to be 60%. Now solar lamp is not going to be of a very low price, so I will be excluding the lower class.
Okay.
And upper class might also have other alternatives for lighting like kerosene. So I will only consider 30% of the upper class to be actually interested in buying our solar lamp.
Fair enough. That sounds good to me.
And since solar lamp is a new and unique product, I believe that a household is only going to buy 1 lamp initially. So may I know the average price, expected price of 1 solar lamp?
Okay, so the client is expecting to price this product at around 3,000 rupees initially.
Alright. So So by multiplying the number of households by the number of lamp that is bought by each household and the average price, I get the market size to be approximately 16.2 billion,
Okay.
which I think is a good figure and a lucrative market to enter in.
Definitely. I think now that we have a ballpark figure of a sort, we can move on to the next part of this.
Alright. So now, moving on to product specifications, what might be the positive and negative points about the solar lamp?
Okay, so the solar lamp, the positive aspects of the solar lamp is that it charges very quickly using solar panels and it operates completely on solar batteries. But the negative aspect is that it is quite large and cumbersome to store and hold.
I think in future our client can introduce a more convenient model, but for now the product specifications seem fine.
Okay.
Now moving on to profitability. Are there any competitors already in the market?
So the industry is pretty new and is in its infancy stage. Thus, there are only 2 competitors in the market so far.
Alright. Since there are only 2 competitors in the market and industry is pretty new, I believe that our client has the potential to capture 20% of the market.
Okay.
Now I have some questions. Has there been any initial investment made already by a client in India? And also, has there been a third party hired for logistics?
So far our client hasn't had any investment per se from its end, but there have been agreements with a third party to carry out the logistics.
May I know the components of the value chain that are contributing to cost, and which of them are handled by a client and which of them are handled by the third party?
Okay, so that's a good question. The manufacturing and R&D is being handled by the client so far, whereas the other logistics, which are warehousing, transportation, distribution, are being handled by the third party.
Alright. What is the total margin that a client is gaining from each sale?
You can assume it to be around 200 per each sale.
So our estimated potential of profit will be 200 into 3.24 billion,
Okay.
which comes out to be 648 billion rupees. And I think that is a good figure to begin with. So I think that a client should enter into the market, and for long run, to increase the profits, the client should enter into the Indian market, start investing there and focus on advertising.
Okay. Well, Ananya, thank you for your time and your recommendations. We can officially end the case over here. It was great interacting with you,
Thank you.
and good luck for the other round.